Welcome to another episode of Insurance Gone Wild. I am your host, Dennis Settlemeyer, and this is my lovely and beautiful co-host,
Stephanie Lencioni.
Lencioni. Not Lencioni, Lencioni.
Okay, well, you make me sad when you say it right. You know what I mean?
I know, I'm always saying it wrong. I have forever.
Literally forever.
It's funny, when you say, you got a partner? Who's your partner? Stephanie Lencioni. I don't say Lencioni.
I know.
So it just doesn't feel natural because I've got too much Ozark hillbilly in me.
No, and I get that. But I have come to appreciate, and I'm not here to just correct everyone contrary to what my husband says. You know, it's just I'm here to correct him. There's a difference. I don't care what you do wrong. I care what he does wrong.
Poor hubby.
It's just not... He's doing just fine. I promise. Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Settlemeyer.
All right. So today, Mrs. Lencioni, you're going to once again quiz me a little bit. I think not quiz, but we're just going to talk about something.
So I think here's what we both went to a meeting that I think it's safe to say was interesting on a number of levels, but we're not going to get into the details of the interesting details of the meeting. But EPLI,
it was a presentation.
It was a meeting that turned into a presentation, and the presentation was like...
It was like a HR type consulting presentation.
Yeah. Blew me away in a lot of different ways.
Me too.
Yeah, like literally you left. But that's fine. But let me ask, so one of the coverages...
I'm from the Ozarks. Things are a little bit different in my world.
And I'm not, and I am in the same world that you're in, so that's fine. But so EPLI is something that was referenced, which is an acronym. So tell us.
I referenced that.
No. Well, other people did too. So, but I want you.
Oh, they did?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I was gone.
You had stepped out. What does EPLI stand for in the insurance world? Maybe it means something else in a world we're not familiar with. In the insurance world.
In the insurance world, it stands for Employment Practices Liability Insurance. And what does that mean? Well, it basically means that there is insurance for you for things such as wrongful termination, failure to promote, sexual harassment.
No. Don't go through the list.
So, you have the entire list. I'm just throwing off. I'm just giving sort of a definition.
Sure.
It's for things that you can get in trouble for as an employer. That you may see on TV or on the internet or whatever it may be. That's the insurance that you need to help protect you for a lot of different things from
an employer standpoint.
So
let me ask you this question then, because a lot of people could hear, and based on the examples you gave, maybe not get confused, but where does EPLI start and workers' comp? Like, where does that end and workers' comp starts? Like, what are the differences between the two?
Well,
in the state of Texas, because in the state of Texas...
Well, it won't matter. The extreme bottom line is that workers' comp is really going to be more about physical injury. Probably one of the most important coverages that an employer can have. Because you could be sued for dang near anything as an employer by an employee. If you're if you have workers' comp coverage, it's very, very difficult for an employee to sue you. And in this culture especially, it's very, very good to have because employees are always looking for the opportunities to sue employers for the littlest things. And EPLI could help protect the employer from these type of things.
Okay, so
you're going to ask me about, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so we'll go through a couple. So again, we're pulling up the very handy dandy, always faithful Chat GPT, which, by the way, if Chat GPT would like to be a sponsor of Insurance Gone Wild, please reach out to us at contact at IGWpodcast.com.
Insurance Gone Wild. IGW.
Contact at IGW.
It's contact at IGWpodcast.com.
Nailed it every time.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, back to the Chat GPT.
Glad I remembered that.
So the first wrongful termination.
Wrongful termination could be covered under EPLI because, and it's not necessarily were they wrongfully terminated or not. It's whatever the court system determines were they wrongfully terminated, right?
And that's the thing, and you've said it before, but and this is true. A lawsuit has nothing to do with right and wrong, at fault or not. Yes, guilt or innocence, essentially.
Correct.
It has everything to do with the fact that an attorney was willing to take the case.
They were smart enough and better than your attorney.
No, well, not even that. It truly is. It's not even better than your attorney. I'm just saying that's a settlement situation.
True.
But for a lawsuit situation, you have to find an attorney willing to take your case, however bogus or legitimate it may or may not be.
True.
So that's what a lawsuit is. It has nothing to do with somebody actual.
But wrongful termination is certainly one of those things that EPLI could protect an employer from. And how much would it protect it from? Dollar amount wise depends on how much you bought.
Fair. But so I would say, and depending on the claim and depending on everything else, but I think the biggest savings for the employer, it's the defense costs.
Oh, definitely.
It's the attorney's fees, where if somebody, because you can have these little people,
anyway.
Could be. And I mean, unless I will say, if you're truly doing something egregious and you are probably guilty of said lawsuit and all of the claims being made against you repeatedly, then maybe there's something to it. But for the most part, I mean, defense costs are so expensive.
Yeah.
Hiring an attorney is like, hey, here's $2,000-$3,000 minimum right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate.
No.
For a letter.
Here's the thing, whether it's EPLI or general liability or whatever it is that you get sued for, it is better to have the insurance company pay for that. Because, and I've run into this where people are like, well, I'm not worried about it. If I'll just hire an attorney and we'll deal with it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. The guy that created your LLC is not the same type of attorney that's going to represent you in litigation. And then it depends on the type of litigation that you have. Because an LLC attorney's $200 an hour, $300 an hour, or whatever, at the most, probably. I'm guessing. But a litigation attorney, you're talking, you could get very expensive for a litigation attorney. Whenever you call an attorney, when you call them, if you call your attorney, they have software that tracks how long they talk to you, and they charge you accordingly.
They charge you every 10th of an hour, which is every 6 minutes. So if you have a 45-second phone call, you're getting charged for 6 minutes essentially each time.
Absolutely.
But what I will also say on top of that is
it's expensive. That's the point.
It is expensive. But to go a step further, for these smaller companies who don't have an attorney already established and in their back pocket, well, not in their back pocket, but saying, hey, Dennis, you're my attorney. You're going to handle anytime I get sued and da-da-da-da-da. You're my guy.
Yeah, you're my guy. Who goes out and keeps a litigation? If you're a small business.
That's what I'm saying.
Who goes out and keeps a litigation attorney on a retainer?
You don't have it.
They're thinking, I've got my attorney that helped me with my LLC. I tell you.
Which I'm here to tell you is wrong, and they're going to say no.
It's the wrong attorney.
So here's my point, and you're
not
interrupting me in a lovely way, but also son of a monk. What I'm saying is, the dog.
The mascot is like, what?
Or she's like, you be nice to my mom. I love you, honey. You're fine.
No, we're going the same direction.
We are going absolutely the same direction. And here's the thing too, though. The problem is then you have to find, because you have a time frame. Once you are served,
oh yeah,
there's
absolutely.
a deadline and there's a time frame, and then you have to find an attorney who, number one, will call you back. Okay?
Correct.
Number one will call you back. And I'm here to tell you, because not every attorney, to your point, does everything. So number one, they have to call you back. Number two, they have to actually be willing and able to handle the field and the lane that you've given them.
They
like,
specialize
hey,
in certain areas.
Hey, I've been sued for wrongful termination. They're like, oh, we do contract law. Sorry.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Can you send me? No, we don't know. Bye. So now you're back at square one. You're doing all the things. And then so let's say you go step one, they call you back. Step two, they do what you are wanting them to do. And then step three, you actually want to use them. But then you get to a point where you're like, I don't even want to use you because I feel like you're not even competent. I have had conversations with attorneys and I'm like, I don't feel like you listen to anything that I said. I don't feel like you give two rats' asses or half of a rat's ass about anything that I've said. Yeah, a cheek, right? And that chaps my ass. I really have to fit that into every episode. I'm going to start doing it. Chaps my ass. But it's a process.
No,
so now
correct.
not only are you being sued and you're a small business, you're like, oh my gosh. Then you have to go through the process of finding somebody and then it's different and you have no idea and and then you're looking for referral. It's a crap show. It's absolutely chaotic.
Whereas the insurance company has already figured out who they talk to.
They know who is the right person to be handling this. And quite honestly, it's something, it's off your shoulders.
Yep.
Answer the questions that the attorneys have for you. Answer the questions the insurance company has for you. Let them do their investigation. And then from there, it's in their hands. And then whatever happens. And maybe you have to change a policy or two or whatever, depending on the outcome. Maybe your premiums go up. Yep. But I'm here to tell you, quality of life is worth whatever that premium is. It is insane.
I agree.
For any of you small businesses who have not tried to hire an attorney for some time-pressed issue, best of luck
what do you get,
to you.
30 days, 60 days?
I don't know. I think it depends on jurisdiction and what is being done.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably depends on what's being done. But
I don't
let's
know.
say it's 30 days. You got 30 days to find an attorney and have them review.
That's a blink. By the time you call 7 and they take a week to get back with you, and then you set an appointment for a week and a half out.
Yep.
No. And then you have to do the response.
Yep.
No. 30 days is a blink of an eye.
So we're getting way off subject,
no,
although
but
it was
this
a
is
good
the point, though.
It was
this
a good
is the point, though, is that do you want to do all of this? Or do you want to pay a measly amount in the big scheme of things for the protection?
At a minimum, it may be a small minimum, but it's a minimum. Insurance is like paying a retainer.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say
for an attorney you hope you never need.
Yeah. Let's say the entire premium is like paying a retainer that you never need.
Hopefully.
You hope you never
but
need
here's
it.
The
but
thing,
if you
guys,
do need it, it's there, right?
If you're in business long enough, something squirrely is going to happen.
We have insurance, right?
Something squirrely is going to happen.
That something happens with us, we have insurance. So we don't like paying it. I hate writing that check or telling the CFO to write that check. You know,
she is the worst.
I know she's horrible.
She's
isn't
terrible.
She? That's why
I'm kidding. I love her. But
no,
Dennis's wife.
No,
she is great.
Yeah,
she's great.
Yeah, but
anyway,
regardless,
the point
she doesn't care. She just pays it, and moves on.
You just pay it.
But the fact is that we don't like paying it either. But we see the need for it. We understand the need for it.
Understand the value, right? Everything comes down to value. And I know we talked about this a while ago, and you're like, I just think value is overused. It is.
Did I say that? I'm not denying it.
No, you didn't. You're like, I just feel like value is it's a word that's overused. And like, you have to add value. You have to add value. And I agree with you. But at the same time, I'm here to tell you it is the correct word. And the value needs to be there. And this is where it comes in. So, okay. So we done wrongful termination. We kind of touched on that. Because what they say, like defense costs and the settlement. So if there's a settlement with the wrongful termination, like it'll be covered, both the defense costs and the settlement.
Typically, yeah.
So what's something else?
What's another thing?
Sexual harassment claim.
Oh my gosh, sexual harassment
And that
claim.
is so easy to happen.
Well, it's easy, but also it's a very wide net that can be cast because
Well, that's what I'm saying with the wide net, but it only takes somebody, which makes it easier for an attorney to pick it up and throw against your company.
Let me describe something to you that you may or may not know. I don't know what your experience is with EPLI from being a claims adjuster.
I've been harassing people for a long time.
I understand you have.
Sexually. No,
But
I'm just kidding.
here's the thing about EPLI when it comes to sexual harassment. Obviously, if there's sexual harassment within the workplace between employees, you could be, and I say employees, it could be management and employee. It could be other employees and employee, whatever it may be. But here's the other thing that people don't understand. It could be a vendor that comes in.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
Let's say you got a vendor that comes in and he tells a dirty joke to an employee. And then the secretary, and let's assume that it's a female. For my example.
For this example.
For my
example.
Let's assume that
it's a
female
male
or a receptionist. And
Female.
one in this vendor is telling a dirty joke to another female employee, but usually a male employee, right? He makes some sort of off-color comment. And it offends the employee who is the receptionist, a female employee. Let's just leave it at that. Another female employee. They could sue the insured, the employer, under EPLI.
But what about, would it be liability? What would it be against the vendor if they went after the vendor?
I don't know what they could do to the vendor. I'm just talking about EPLI. I honestly don't know what they could do to the vendor.
Well, okay. Well, I guess
they could sue the vendor, but what are they going to sue them for? Because general liability is bodily injury and property damage. It's not hurt feelings.
But sexual harassment is going to fall under a category.
Not BI and PD. Not BI and PD.
But.
Well, it could be. That's a good question. I don't know the answer.
Just saying, there's liability.
You have stumped the chump.
What up, chump?
The first time you have stumped the chump.
Listen.
I don't know.
It won't be the last.
But the EPLI.
Don't you fling the cigar at me, damn it.
I am.
You keep that to yourself, sir.
I am.
I don't have words. I can't talk to you.
Oh, wow. Hey. Things have gotten literally out of hand. No, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
They could sue the vendor.
Yeah, because they're representing the company.
But is there any insurance they have that would cover it? I don't know the answer to that. It'd probably be settled.
I don't know.
But they couldn't sue. But regardless, they couldn't sue the
back
employer. So they couldn't sue the employer because that vendor, or it didn't have to be a vendor. It could be a customer that came in and told a dirty joke, and somebody got offended by it, and sues for employment practices liability insurance because you as the employer did not do everything you could do to keep that from happening.
Fair.
I'm not saying if it's right or it's wrong. I'm just saying it could happen.
Here's the thing. When you are in the business of dealing with people, you are in the business of being sued potentially by people. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Correct. There you go. Ooh, what are you going to do? Okay. So let's see what else we have here. We've gotten our scroll has gotten away from us.
Come on, hit me with another one.
I don't have a problem hitting you.
What do you got?
Okay. Failure to promote. I think this is interesting because Meredith, this doesn't want to punch it. But I have so many examples in my head just like flowing through where I kind of want to punch the person in the face who wants to sue an employer for failure to promote. But at the same time, I can see certain situations where I'm like, I want to punch the employer in the face because like, you're an idiot. And then promoting the wrong people, right? So anyway, that was a side note on my part, but failure to promote.
That
says
is
a
certainly
long-term
one of them,
employee,
yes.
claimed they were passed over for a promotion because their age and gender. I mean, this is just an example that it gives us, right? And it says EPLI covered defense against alleged discrimination under federal law, Title VII. And they're assuming female.
Title VII,
That's-
Title IX, Title VII, yes.
What to me, I feel like that it could be, but it could be either way. But I guess stereotypically, it's typically women getting passed over, and then the Age Discrimination and Employment Act. So
Correct.
okay, so this is hostile work environment.
Oh my gosh! So if you have an employee that's getting, let's just for the sort of a net of description, casting a net of description, bullied. You have other employees that are teasing or whatever it may be, playing pranks or jokes onto one of your employees. I mean, I don't know if insurance going wild.
Insurance gone wild. Throw something out there.
Hopefully, this will give anybody an idea. But you can find these kind of videos on the internet. Somebody's in the bathroom using the restroom, and another employee comes along and shoots bottle rockets underneath the crack of the door.
Oh my god!
You know,
that's such a guy thing.
Something like that.
Okay, you know what I have seen?
But
though?
it could be picking on. It could be verbal abuse, physical abuse, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Well, so you kind of threw out a good example, in my opinion, without even knowing it. But
It's usually the way that I do it.
well,
so.
please. But there's so much TikTok. There's do this TikTok trend and do this and do that, and there are all these different pranks and these
correct.
trends and these things.
Correct.
I have to tell you,
Gives people ideas
I
of what
got
to sue over.
full. Well, okay, but it also gives people ideas of things to do to their fellow coworkers.
Yeah.
And different things where it's like, oh, we have a really cool environment and we're so fun and joking and all these things. There's this one that we saw, and it tickles the bejesus out of me. I don't want to be a part of it ever, but they do the tape or like cellophane.
Where
like-
you can't see it and they walk
Yeah,
through
it's
it.
like over a doorway or whatever, and then you start walking through it. Oh my god, this woman, she went through it. Her eyelashes and her lipstick got left on the thing. It's awesome. It's awesome to watch. But if you're that woman and then you're now blasted on the
That's the
TikTok,
thing. That's
and
the thing.
then now you're
Yes.
blasted on the social media,
Correct.
and it's all these different. But like,
All right,
you're
so
opening yourself
let me
up.
address that just for a minute.
Please do, because this is the world we live in.
Yeah, it's correct. We live in a YouTube-ish style, Instagram, TikTok type world. I mean, you've seen these videos where people are fighting, and instead of folks trying to break up the fight, they've got their phones
They're
out.
taking the damn video.
So, all right, so let's go with that.
Okay.
Let's say that the time the lady had zero problem with it. She thought it was hilarious that it happened to her. She got a kick out of it. But now all of a sudden,
Buyer's remorse and
it's
the
got
comments that are coming
10,000,
through.
100,000 reviews, and now there's an embarrassment. Guess what? EPLI.
Yeah. You
So-
just, you guys, we just have to be careful.
Yep.
Have to be careful. Okay. Wage and hour disputes. It says,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
but this
Go ahead.
says, I'm going to give you a little, sometimes excluded. So would you ever exclude that from a policy?
It depends on
policy?
it depends on the insurance company you're writing through whether they will do that or not. If they
And I would say it depends on the business. Maybe you're writing it for.
well, it really
whether or
comes
not
down to
that's
the
gonna.
yeah, it comes down to the underwriting of that aspect of it. It would not be something that I would do intentionally. If it came through for me, it would be by accident.
Okay,
But because we don't want to exclude anything from EPLI.
for sure. Well, because then what is the point?
'Cause that's
of
what's
having
gonna
it?
happen.
That's the point of having it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this does say employees claim they weren't paid overtime they were owed. Hey guys, if you are an employer, here's where the classification matters got really involved a couple years ago by trying to correct the whole you can't be a manager if you're not actually managing people and all of these different things. And exempt versus non-exempt employee. You have to make sure your people are classified the correct way. Because if not, that's a problem. You are on the hook for really big fines. So you can't just say, oh, you're a manager. You're, no big deal. Your salary. So I can have you work 60 hours, but you're managing no one. And no, they're due. They're owed an additional 20 hours of overtime pay.
Well, yeah, there is federal.
There's federal
laws on that now.
But how many people, unless they're caught, right? So it's people, you can get away with it for as long as you can until you get caught type thing.
And then it's going to cost you a lot.
And it's going to cost you a whole lot of money. Like if you then
fees and fines and
there's a lot going on with that. So just understand that. There's a big deal with that.
In that example, absolutely.
Retaliation claim. So it says after reporting, after reporting unsafe conditions, an employee was reassigned to a less favorable shift.
Correct. They
sued, alleging retaliation. So this can happen in a lot of ways, right? So, hey, let's say you were my superior and I report to HR, which we don't have.
I am your superior.
I have no words for that. God bless. Anyway, he says, let's say, but I'm like, hey, Dennis is being weird with his cigar stick and he's making these weird movements to me and I'm uncomfortable.
Which, by the way, I would never do. Not intentionally.
Okay. No, you're very good. You are, like we joke, but you are a very good guy. But if I report that and then all of a sudden I am now poo-pooed, I'm now like shunned.
Yeah, you don't get a promotion of it.
I'm not included in meetings that I was once included in. And so whether or not I'm demoted or this or that or whatever, but now the attitude is shifted around me, right? It's that retaliation. Or maybe you're the one with the issue because
it's usually the
I
way
did
around.
something.
It's usually the other way around, Legioni.
What are you saying? That I'm the instigator? I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm about to sue your ass. All right. And then privacy violation.
Oh my gosh. That's a double whammy right there.
There's
you
a
get
lot.
sued for a lot of stuff.
There's a lot there.
Depending on what was lost.
You need more than EPLI for the privacy.
You're going to worry about HIPAA violations and all sorts of stuff.
There's a lot.
Yeah, that gets in a whole different. But I think the point of EPLI is that it is the new. It's not new, but it's an extremely important policy that most employers don't think of. It generally does not come with your regular general liability policy. It is a separate policy, or you have to endorse it. And many times you can't even endorse it. And if you can endorse it, it's a very, very small dollar amount.
So, and so I'm glad that you touched on the endorsement, just like jewelry coverage. And the endorsement of something typically is not as strong as saying, I'm going to get a separate policy specifically to cover this.
Correct.
And so that's what I would encourage people to do. Get the separate policy. And quite frankly, in the big scheme of things, it's really nothing. Like it's liability. So it's not even like it's this massive, it's not even products liability, which I understand is liability.
You're talking about from a cost perspective?
From a cost perspective.
Well, you got to measure everything. I mean, if you get 50,000.
I guess how many employees do you have?
Yeah,
and all
if
the
you
things?
get 50,000 for $25,000, it's probably not worth it. But if you get, usually that's going to be if you had a lot of claims you can even get in PPLI. But yeah, no, you're correct. I'm kind of going off on a wild goose chase. But the thing is, it's very inexpensive for what it gives you, and you can buy it in 50, 100,000, 500,000, $1 million. It just kind of depends on what it is that you want.
How offensive are you?
Well, exactly.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You should get $1 million.
So
you should get $1 million.
Is that a, yeah, that's what I was
You
getting ready to
piss
ask
me off
you.
every day, man.
I know.
No.
And I don't even try.
Maybe
I'm
you
just
do.
that natural at it.
You're
I'm that good.
You're solid. You chat my ass. If I can say it a couple times in one episode, that it counts for some episodes that I've missed it. So
There you go.
It counts.
No, EPLI is an
It is serious. We
extremely
joke.
important. It's probably as important. And I talk to all my commercial clients about it because it's not just harassment, but it includes so many different things. And guess what? Lawyers are just sitting there salivating at little things like this. They're salivating for things like this.
Okay,
So let the insurance deal with it. Even if you only got $50,000 or $100,000 worth of coverage, that's more than they would get for nothing.
Okay, so I do want to touch on that. So there's a little bit of a, well, if I don't have the coverage and the high limits, then they're not going to sue me for the high limits.
Yeah, that's
but if
BS.
blah blah, well, there is absolutely
They're going to
truth.
get something. They're going to try to get something
There's
out of you.
I do believe there's truth to that. However, what you touched on though, so let's say again, I'm an employee, I'm a disgruntled employee, and I'm going to an attorney and I'm like, hey, my ass is chapped about ABC. And they're like, I mean, tell me more, what's going on, da, da, da. And in this story that I'm giving, da, 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 right? And they're like, okay.
I don't understand what means, but go ahead.
It means all of the things that I just said. Da, 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 da.
Maybe off. Okay.
Everyone else knows.
All right.
You catch up later. Get the Cliff Notes. But I'm talking to the attorney. ABC is what I want to go after my employer for. Mm-hmm. Tell the story, and through all of the details that they hear, they're like, you know what? Hey, we can't get them for ABC. But after what you just told me, XYZ, we can take them to the bank. So my point to that is, it's not just, that's why don't endorse it. Like, don't limit it. Don't do the things for the cost of it. Get a full encompass. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, because it's not just once you're the employee who's going to an attorney to try to sue your employer, sometimes it's the workaround. You can't get them for what you want to get them for, but they can get you in a different way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I roundabout? Like I don't have specific examples. I don't know how to work that example in real life, but hey, I'm going to say, he didn't promote me because I'm a woman and I have kids. I have small kids, right? Blah, blah, blah. And then in the conversation, they're like, oh, but they're going to get you for being, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I don't pull the woman card. Like, that's not my jam, but once somebody is having a conversation with attorney, to your point that you were saying, is the attorney is going to pounce on any opportunity that they see where it's like, oh, that's where the dollar signs are. And that's what we're going to go after.
Yeah. Because how do attorneys,
that's my point. So they're not going to go after
typically get paid?
Oh, off settlement, off contingency. Yeah. Contingency of the settlement for the suers.
Exactly. So if you're an employer, you need to understand, if you get sued, that employee, all he's trying to do is maximize his percentage that he gets. They're going to hide it in the fact, well, I got my client X amount of dollars, you know.
I took 80% of it.
Even if it's 20 or 30, let's say it's 30%.
I know, yeah.
It's BS. They're just trying to follow the money trail. That's all they're trying to do. And you could say, well, if I don't get the coverage, then I don't have any money. Well, you know, there's still stuff they can do.
There is no, and that's
be a lien on a house. It'd be a lot of different things. So
I agree, and I think the coverage is important.
Yeah.
However, I do also, I know like that is part of the game, but you can't bet against yourself in that way. I don't know how to phrase that, but you still have to protect yourself. Even though there are people who are going to go after, they're going to find out your policy limits and they're going to go after everything they can. You have to trust the process at that point and just do right. Just get the coverage. I'm just saying, but but I cannot.
That may be the only cuss word I've ever said on this podcast. Just get the damn coverage. It's cheap. Just get it.
The live event's going to be different.
Maybe.
Thanks so much for having us.
Anyway, yeah, EPLI is the new, not new, but it is a very important portion.
That's like the third time you said that. New, but not new.
It's not new. It's new to people because a lot of them have not heard it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. But with the DEI stuff that's come down and companies are doing and other things, just do it. You just never know when something's lawsuit's going to come out of nowhere. You could have an employee that is deathly quiet, and all of a sudden you get a letter from their lawyer, and you're like, "What? They never said anything to us about this." Well, they don't have to.
They don't have to.
So anyway, all right, guys. Well, this has been another episode of Insurance Gone Wild. Again, if you have any questions or comments, reach out to us at contact.
See, it's not that easy.
Yeah, exactly. The email address is contact@igwpodcast.com or give us a call, 817-753-0093. We appreciate your time and look forward to talking to you again.